This is the standard. This is what Universal Studios UK has to be. Epic Universe did not just open a theme park, it reset every expectation Bedford will be judged against. From sensory details you would never notice to operational mistakes you cannot afford to repeat, here are 5 lessons Orlando's newest gate has proven. Starting at number 5, something you can taste, hear and feel before you ever board a ride. In the 5th place, Epic Universe sets a non-negotiable standard. Total immersion must reach every sensory detail or credibility collapses before the first ride vehicle departs. In Orlando, this means no generic ketchup packets, no off-the-shelf uniforms, no recycled pop songs drifting between lands. Every shop and restaurant uses packaging designed for its specific world, including parchment-wrapped wizarding sweets, neon Mario cups, and cutlery shaped to match the land's story. Team members wear costumes fabricated exclusively for their assigned zone, from Parisian tailoring in the Ministry of Magic to colour-blocked Nintendo jumpsuits. The ambient music is not a looping playlist, but a 3-hour original score for each land, engineered to blend seamlessly with the environment and never break the illusion. Even the retail experience is written into the narrative, with in-universe signage and props that refuse to break character. For Bedford, this is not an optional upgrade. The cost of immersive uniforms, custom packaging and multi-hour soundtracks must be built into the business model from day one. Anything less, and the British public, primed by years of social media walkthroughs and Orlando trip vlogs, will spot the shortcuts instantly. A single off-theme napkin or generic staff badge can shatter the illusion, and with it, the justification for a dedicated trip. Only by funding this level of detail up front can Universal Studios UK hope to create a destination that feels real, not just themed. Without it, the rest of the park's ambitions are built on sand. Number 4 brings the hotel strategy into sharp focus. At Epic Universe, the opening of Stella Nova and Terra Luna was not a luxury flourish but a foundational move. These 2 hotels, launched just months after the park itself, were designed as infrastructural anchors, not afterthoughts. Early occupancy rates averaged 78%, and nearly half of all hotel guests bundled their stay with park tickets. Clear evidence that the hotels were pulling their weight as revenue drivers, not just offering somewhere to sleep. The effect on guest behaviour was immediate. Average dwell time at Universal Orlando rose from 3.2 days to 4.1 days, and package sales generated $180 million in just 6 months. This was not about padding the portfolio, it was about turning a theme park into a multi-day destination, where unique rides and immersive lands require more than a single afternoon to explore. For Bedford, the implications are direct and non-negotiable. The British market is dominated by day trippers, with most visitors currently spending less than 8 hours on site. A single 500-room hotel, as proposed, cannot absorb the projected 8.5 million guests in the first year, nor can it drive the extended stays needed to justify the scale and ambition of a modern Universal park. Without a robust, integrated hotel strategy, multiple brands, price points and direct park access, Universal Studios UK risks becoming an expensive day out, rather than the destination resort Epic Universe has proven is now the baseline. The business model must be built around the expectation that guests will want and need to stay longer. Anything less, and the park's most ambitious features, from world-first ride systems to total immersion, will be wasted on audiences who simply do not have time to experience them. The lesson from Orlando is clear. The hotel is not an add-on, it is the engine that funds the entire destination model. Number 3. The lesson is unambiguous. Original rides are now the price of entry. Epic Universe has made technical invention the main draw, not a luxury. The minecart boom coaster in Super Nintendo World, for example, does not just repackage a classic, it deploys a patented launch system that propels cars over simulated gaps, using a hidden track to create the illusion of impossible jumps. The battle at the Ministry ride in the Wizarding World pushes even further, with an omnidirectional lift that moves vehicles through 6 axes, allowing scenes to unfold in 3 dimensions and breaking the mould of the traditional dark ride. Monsters Unchained takes the arms race into robotics, letting KUKA industrial robots swing guests through a 360-degree playroom, a world first for any theme park attraction. These are not just headline-grabbing features, they are the backbone of Epic Universe's appeal. In the first month, ride availability hit 96%, a figure that speaks to both reliability and the operational maturity of these new systems. Guest satisfaction, tracked by Net Promoter Scores, reached plus 42, outperforming every prior Universal launch. For Bedford, the stakes are even higher. British guests in 2031 will have watched years of ride-throughs and breakdowns from Orlando, and nothing less than a world-first experience will justify the trip. If Universal Studios UK opens with cloned rides or off-the-shelf systems, it will be instantly exposed as a secondary offering. The procurement challenge is steep. Commissioning a trackless augmented reality hybrid dark ride, a dual-track launch and rotation coaster, or an adaptive narrative dark ride is not just a technical hurdle, it is a financial and creative one. Yet the numbers from Orlando are clear. When you deliver exclusivity, guests respond with higher intent to visit and stronger word of mouth. Anything less, and the park risks being dismissed as a copy, not a destination. The lesson from Epic Universe is blunt. Original rides are not optional. They are the only way to turn a theme park into a must-see event. At Epic Universe, the portal is not just an entrance, it is the main event. Each land begins with a 12 to 18 metre transition corridor, walled to 4.5 metres with map panels that erase every outside sightline. Step inside and the park vanishes. Kinetic sculptures, weather vanes, glowing orbs and narrative inscriptions signal a new story. The sound changes, the lighting shifts, even the air feels different. Biometric gates using facial recognition have cut scan times by 75%, turning what could be a bottleneck into a seamless theatrical reveal. This is not just about crowd control, it is about creating an emotional anchor, a moment that frames the entire visit and defines the memory of each land. For Bedford, the portal becomes a structural challenge. UK planning rules cap walls at 4 metres within 30 metres of homes, so Bedford's portals must achieve total site blocking with less height. The answer is a blend of perforated steel, laser-cut glazing and berm-backed show buildings, with earthworks rising up to 3 metres to supplement the wall. Kinetic sculptures draw the eye away from any gaps, transition corridors shrink to 10 to 14 metres, widths trimmed to 3.5 metres for single-lane flow. Weather demands more. Tensile fabric canopies, heated under floor panels and integrated LED lighting become standard in a climate with 133 rainy days a year. Pavement shifts from Florida's high-gloss stone to low-gloss, slip-resistant concrete or reclaimed brick designed to avoid glare and puddling. Biometric validation remains transformative, but UK data laws may require opt-in RFID or QR systems at launch. Still, the principle is unchanged. The portal is the guest's first and last impression, controlling crowd flow and sealing off each world. If Bedford's portals fall short, even the best rides and theming can be undone by a single glimpse through a gap. The lesson is simple. The portal is not just a threshold, it is the product. And finally, in first place, the most unforgiving lesson Epic Universe delivers is this. Every mistake is now a matter of public record, and Universal Studios UK has no excuse to repeat them. Orlando's opening week saw an average entry wait of 107 minutes, longer than any Disney or Universal launch in the last decade. The culprit was not just high demand, but a virtual line system that blocked 12% of guests from entering their chosen land, leaving families stranded on the wrong side of the portal. Guest complaints flooded social media, not just about the queues, but about the heat. Celestial Park's reflective paving, designed to shimmer in the Florida sun, instead turned into a radiative oven, driving 4% of visitors to leave early on peak days. When thunderstorms rolled in, outdoor attractions shut down for 3 full days, exposing the vulnerability of open-air hubs in a climate famous for sudden lightning strikes. For Bedford, these are not distant warnings, they are a checklist of what must not happen. British weather inverts the Florida equation. 133 rainy days a year, gusting winds and temperatures that rarely top 25 degrees. Covered walkways, heated queue houses and slip-resistant paving cannot be afterthoughts. Rainproof design must be woven into the master plan, not tacked on after the first viral complaint. The virtual line system, so lauded in theory but so brittle in practice, needs to be rebuilt for dynamic real-time capacity reallocation. No guest should ever be locked out of a land they paid to experience. Queue management must blend app-based booking with flexible standby, so the system adapts to crowd surges and weather disruptions without creating digital dead ends. Lightning closures in Florida are a warning shot for Bedford's own operational resilience. Every major attraction and hub corridor must be designed for rapid weather transitions, canopies that deploy in minutes, drainage that prevents puddling, and climate-responsive signage that reroutes guests before frustration sets in. The British public will not accept a rainout as an act of God when they know, from Orlando's experience, that these risks are predictable and solvable. Epic Universe's growing pains are no longer private missteps. They are case studies dissected in real time by every future visitor, travel vlogger and competitor. The lesson for Universal Studios UK is stark. To repeat these errors is to announce on opening day that you did not do your homework. In an era where every flaw is instantly amplified online, the margin for error has vanished. The only path forward is to build a park that learns, in detail, from every minute of Orlando's opening year. Because in 2031, British audiences will arrive with the receipts. Across all 5 lessons, one pattern stands out. Epic Universe did not just innovate, it redefined the baseline for what destination means. For Universal UK, matching this is not optional. British guests will arrive with global expectations and local demands. The true challenge is not spectacle, but relevance. That is the new standard.